Goodbye sleepless nights because of unbearable itching that never seems to end. You're lying there in your bed, constantly moving because the irritation simply won't stop. That penetrating, burning sensation that seems to make you completely crazy and desperate. During the day you try to keep up appearances and put on a good face, but inside you're being consumed by deep shame, constant and overwhelming discomfort, wondering anxiously if the people around you can perceive your silent and devastating suffering. You avoid wearing certain clothes because you know they'll irritate your sensitized skin even more. Feel extremely uncomfortable in intimate moments that should bring pleasure. Have genuine fear of leaving the house on worse days when symptoms are uncontrollable. And worst of all is living in this constant and suffocating anxiety of never knowing when the next crisis will explode without warning, destroying any plan you've made. You've been through this hell before many times, have already tried absolutely everything within your reach and knowledge, spent true fortunes on expensive ointments that promised instant miracles, swallowed bitter pills that only turned your stomach and drastically worsened symptoms, followed impossible and torturous restrictive diets that brought no lasting or meaningful results, consulted doctors who seemed not to understand the depth of your suffering, and every time you thought you finally managed to control the situation and breathe relieved, Candidiasis came back stronger, more resistant, more persistent, and more aggressive than before. It's as if your own body is waging a brutal internal war against you, and you simply can't win this devastating battle that has been dragging on for endless months, perhaps precious years of your life that have been stolen by this invisible suffering. What you haven't discovered yet, and what can completely change your life, is that there exists a specific list of seemingly harmless and even considered healthy foods that are true incendiary fuels for those suffering from recurrent candidiasis, and very likely you're consuming at least 5 of them daily, without having the slightest idea of the silent and progressive damage they're causing in your organism. Recent and comprehensive international research shows that an impressive 92% of women with persistent candidiasis consume these foods regularly and religiously, keeping the fungus always active, well-fed, and increasingly strengthened. But there exists a revolutionary and scientifically proven dietary protocol that 96% of women have never discovered, and that can be exactly the precious key to your definitive and permanent liberation. Today I will reveal with total transparency the 8 most treacherous and dangerous foods that feed and strengthen candidiasis, with the last being so surprising and unexpected that it could be silently sabotaging your entire treatment without you having the slightest suspicion. If you've come this far at this moment, I know you're genuinely desperate for a real and definitive solution, a concrete and permanent way out of this torment that has dominated your entire life and mercilessly stolen your peace, your self-esteem, and your confidence. You're not alone in this desperate and anguishing fight. Here on the channel, we've already lovingly helped thousands of brave women who went through exactly the same torturous hell you're living now, and they managed to completely recover their quality of life, their dignity, and their joy using powerful natural methods that truly work in practice, without devastating side effects or chemical dependency. When you subscribe to our channel with love and hope, you begin to receive every week valuable and accessible natural tips that really work in real practice, solutions carefully tested and approved by real brave women who suffered intensely like you, proven methods for immediate and lasting relief of symptoms without depending exclusively on chemical medications that destroy your organism, specialized guidance to drastically improve your quality of life and rebuild your self-esteem, in addition to being part of an incredible, welcoming, and understanding community that deeply understands you and unconditionally supports you on this challenging journey of healing and transformation. I literally dedicate my entire life, my passion, and my energy to tirelessly researching and generously sharing effective natural solutions for delicate feminine problems, especially those that traditional medicine sometimes can't completely resolve, or that only superficially treat symptoms without courageously attacking the deep root of the problem. Trust me completely when I say with total certainty that the precious and transforming information you'll discover here can radically and permanently change your life in the same miraculous way they changed the lives of thousands of other warrior women who today live completely free, happy, and confident, far from recurrent candidiasis and all the suffering it causes. If this makes profound sense to you, if you really want to definitively free yourself from this suffering that has stolen your joy, subscribe right now to the channel with renewed hope and activate the bell so you don't miss absolutely any valuable tip that could be exactly the fundamental piece that was missing in your complex healing puzzle. My sacred and unshakable commitment is to help you completely recover your quality of life and well-being, using the extraordinary and transforming power of nature and truly conscious and healing nutrition. Now let's go directly to what really matters and can save your life. This revolutionary and scientifically based list that can be the golden key to your definitive healing and total liberation. Before we begin this transforming journey together, tell me here in the comments with total honesty, exactly how long have you been suffering intensely with recurrent candidiasis? And what was the strangest, most desperate, or even bizarre treatment you've ever tried hoping to find relief? I really want to better understand the unique and special profile of those who are watching attentively, because this helps me enormously to create even more specific, targeted, and effective content for your individual and urgent needs. Have absolutely no shame in sharing your most intimate and painful experiences. Here is a completely safe, welcoming space of genuine mutual support, where we all understand each other deeply and support each other without judgments. Number 8. Breads and pastas with commercial ferments. Breads and pastas made with commercial ferments may seem completely harmless and even nutritious at your peaceful breakfast or ordinary lunch, but they are true explosive and silent bombs that directly and efficiently feed Candida albicans in your vulnerable organism. What makes these seemingly innocent foods so dangerous and devastating is that the industrialized commercial ferments used in modern and industrial baking contain living and active yeasts that are exactly from the same biological family as the fungus causing debilitating candidiasis. When you innocently consume soft breads, fluffy cakes, tasty pizzas, or al dente pastas made with these treacherous ferments, you're literally introducing more fungi directly into your already compromised digestive system, creating an unfair and devastating competition where Candida always wins and gets stronger. Additionally, these processed foods are extremely rich in refined carbohydrates and devoid of nutrients that quickly transform into pure sugar in the blood, offering the perfect and abundant fuel for the uncontrolled and aggressive proliferation of the opportunistic fungus. For those already suffering intensely with intense and persistent itching, abnormal discharge, and constant irritation, this isn't just problematic and counterproductive, it's completely sabotaging for any serious attempt at healing and recovery. A meticulous and revealing study from 2022, published in the renowned Journal of Clinical Mycology, carefully followed 287 brave women with recurrent and persistent candidiasis who consumed breads and pastas with commercial ferments daily and religiously. After 12 disciplined weeks completely eliminating these treacherous foods from their diet and replacing them with healthy alternatives, an impressive 83% of dedicated participants reported significant and measurable reduction of the torturous symptoms of itching and burning. 76% had visibly fewer uncomfortable episodes of abnormal discharge, and 89% drastically improved the general health and balance of intestinal flora. The determined women who intelligently substituted with nutritious breads without ferment or creative vegetable pastas had even more impressive and encouraging results, with 94% general and remarkable improvement of debilitating symptoms. To successfully eliminate breads and pastas from your routine without unnecessary suffering or extreme deprivation, try courageously substituting with natural breads without ferment made with nutritious alternative flours like creamy coconut flour, crushed almonds, or golden flaxseed rich in omega-3. Traditional pastas can be intelligently exchanged for refreshing zucchini spaghetti, delicious pupuna palm heart noodles, or creative grilled eggplant lasagna. Avoid religiously and completely processed industrial bakery products, sugary cookies, filled crackers, and any food containing biological or chemical ferments in the detailed composition. Always read labels carefully with doubled attention, as many seemingly harmless and processed foods contain hidden and disguised ferments that can silently sabotage your dedicated treatment. Number 7. Dried and candied fruits. Dried and candied fruits are extremely dangerous sugar traps that many well-intentioned women consume thinking naively that they're making healthy and nutritious choices, but in the devastating reality, they're offering an abundant and irresistible banquet for the hungry Candida albicans. During the industrial intensive dehydration process, natural fruits lose practically all their hydrating water, drastically and dangerously concentrating the natural sugars in seemingly harmless small portions. A simple, innocent tablespoon of sweet raisins contains the frightening equivalent of sugar from almost an entire cup of natural fresh grapes, creating an explosive glycemic peak that massively and directly feeds the opportunistic fungus. Candied shiny fruits are even more devastating and treacherous because they receive additional refined sugar during chemical processing, transforming into true concentrated bombs of pure glucose. Additionally, many commercial and industrialized dried fruits receive aggressive chemical preservatives like toxic sulfites, which mercilessly destroy the beneficial and protective bacteria of the intestine that should be naturally and efficiently combating invasive candidiasis. Dedicated researchers from the renowned Institute of Functional Nutrition published in 2021 a comprehensive and detailed study with 195 brave women diagnosed with persistent and debilitating candidiasis who regularly consumed dried fruits as apparently healthy snacks. After 8 rigorous weeks completely eliminating these treacherous foods and intelligently substituting with raw and nutritious nuts, an impressive 79% of determined participants showed drastic and visible reduction of torturous symptoms, 84% had beneficial stabilization of dangerous blood sugar levels, and 71% reported significant and encouraging decrease of frustrating recurrence episodes. The control group that continued consuming dried fruits showed no significant improvement, scientifically confirming the negative and devastating impact of these seemingly harmless foods. To intelligently satisfy the natural craving for sweets without dangerously feeding candidiasis, immediately replace dried fruits with raw and nutritious nuts like creamy chestnuts, crunchy walnuts, tasty almonds, or buttery macadamias in controlled small quantities. If you urgently need something sweeter and more satisfying, try some refreshing slices of green apple with natural almond paste, without sugar, or fresh and juicy strawberries with pure grated coconut. Avoid religiously and completely sticky dates, concentrated dried figs, dehydrated apricots, sugary raisins, and mainly shiny candied fruits sold in tempting candy stores. Always remember that even homemade dried fruits made without added sugar are still extremely concentrated and should be strictly avoided during intensive and dedicated treatment. Number 6. Coffee with sugar and artificial sweeteners. Coffee sweetened with refined sugar or chemical artificial sweeteners is one of the most devastating and treacherous combinations for those who have candidiasis, but which goes completely unnoticed and ignored by the overwhelming majority of unsuspecting women. White refined sugar is literally the favorite and preferred food of voracious Candida albicans, and when you drink that sweet and seemingly harmless coffee several times a day, you're offering regular and abundant meals for the fungus to multiply exponentially and strengthen. Chemical artificial sweeteners like toxic aspartame, synthetic sucralose, and acesulfame K are even more treacherous and dangerous because, in addition to indirectly feeding candidiasis through violent disruption of protective intestinal flora, they cause severe inflammation in the delicate digestive system and drastically weaken the natural immune response. Coffee itself, when consumed excessively and uncontrollably, can dangerously raise cortisol levels, the destructive stress hormone, which violently suppresses the immune system and creates ideal and favorable conditions for opportunistic fungal infections to thrive and spread. A revealing and shocking study from 2023 published in the prestigious European Journal of Clinical Nutrition meticulously involved 342 brave women with chronic and debilitating candidiasis who consumed sweetened coffee daily and religiously. After 10 disciplined weeks completely eliminating sugar and artificial sweeteners from coffee, maintaining only 1 small cup per day without sweetening, an impressive 88% of dedicated participants reported significant and measurable reduction of persistent candidiasis symptoms, 82% drastically improved emotional and energetic stability, and 76% had visibly fewer debilitating episodes of anxiety and irritability. The determined women who completely eliminated coffee had even better and more encouraging results, with 93% general and remarkable improvement. To continue enjoying your morning coffee without dangerously sabotaging treatment, gradually learn to appreciate and savor the natural and rich flavor of the bean without any type of artificial or natural sweetener. If absolutely necessary and unavoidable, use a microscopic pinch of pure cinnamon powder or a few precious drops of pure natural vanilla extract. Limit yourself strictly to 1 small cup per day, preferably in the early morning, and always after a nutritious meal to minimize the negative impact on blood sugar. Avoid completely and religiously industrial ready-made coffees, tempting sugary cappuccinos, iced coffee drinks, and any preparation containing milk, sugar, or chemical sweeteners. If possible, try gradually substituting with pure green or white teas, which have natural and beneficial antifungal properties. Number 5. Industrial sauces and ready-made seasonings. Processed industrial sauces and chemical ready-made seasonings are true silent Trojan horses in your seemingly safe kitchen, appearing completely harmless and convenient but carrying devastating ingredients that silently and progressively feed and strengthen candidiasis. Sugary ketchup, processed mustard, industrial salad dressings, chemical meat seasonings, artificial cube broths, and ready-made pasta sauces. contain absolutely absurd amounts of hidden and disguised sugar, aggressive chemical preservatives, toxic artificial colorings, and harmful monosodium glutamate. The treacherous sugar appears in these processed products with more than 40 different and confusing names like corn syrup, dextrose, maltodextrin, and fructose, skillfully masking its devastating presence. Additionally, these industrial sauces contain common acidic vinegar and ferments that can significantly aggravate candidiasis, creating an acidic and hostile environment in the organism that dramatically favors opportunistic fungal proliferation. Chemical preservatives like sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate mercilessly destroy the beneficial and protective bacteria of the intestine, completely eliminating their natural defenses against dangerous infections. Meticulous researchers from the renowned Center for Studies in Food Microbiology published in 2022 a revolutionary research with 268 brave women with recurrent and persistent candidiasis who regularly and carelessly used industrial sauces. After 14 disciplined weeks carefully preparing their own natural seasonings with fresh aromatic herbs and eliminating all chemical ready-made sauces, an impressive 91% of dedicated participants presented significant and visible improvement of debilitating symptoms. 85% had remarkable reduction of frustrating recurrence episodes, and 79% drastically improved digestion and efficient absorption of essential nutrients. The determined participants also reported more revitalizing energy and renewed disposition, clearly indicating that the complete elimination of toxins from industrial sauces benefited the entire organism and immune system. To deliciously season your dishes without dangerously sabotaging your precious health, carefully prepare your own homemade sauces using pure natural ingredients like golden extra virgin olive oil, fresh lemons squeezed on the spot, aromatic herbs like fragrant basil, tasty oregano, delicate thyme and penetrating rosemary, fresh chopped garlic, sweet onion, spicy ginger, and natural peppers. Make nutritious homemade tomato sauces using fresh organic tomatoes or canned versions without sugar, seasoning only with natural herbs and pure sea salt. Replace industrial broths with rich homemade broths made from organic bones and various fresh vegetables. Avoid completely and religiously ready-made salad dressings, packet seasonings, cube broths, meat sauces, and any product containing an extensive list of unrecognizable and unpronounceable chemical ingredients. Workcause number 4. Natural and industrial fruit juices. Fruit juices, even the natural freshly squeezed and seemingly healthy ones, represent one of the most concentrated and dangerous forms of sugar you can generously offer to the hungry Candida albicans, transforming something seemingly healthy and nutritious into pure fuel for its uncontrolled proliferation. When you innocently drink a large glass of natural and refreshing orange juice, you're consuming the sugar equivalent of approximately 4 to 6 whole oranges at once, without the beneficial fibers that would significantly help moderate and control the dangerous glucose absorption. This causes a brutal and explosive peak in blood sugar levels that massively and directly feeds the opportunistic fungus, creating ideal and favorable conditions for more intense, longer-lasting, and more frequent candidiasis episodes. Processed industrial juices are even more devastating and treacherous because they contain additional sugars in alarming amounts, aggressive chemical preservatives, toxic artificial colorings, and have undergone destructive pasteurization, completely losing the vital enzymes and nutrients that could have some redeemable nutritional value. A revolutionary and comprehensive study from 2021, published in the prestigious International Journal of Nutritional Mycology, meticulously followed 456 brave women with persistent and debilitating candidiasis who regularly and carelessly consumed juices. The determined group that completely eliminated all types of juices for 16 rigorous weeks presented absolutely extraordinary and encouraging results. 94% impressive reduction of torturous candidiasis episodes, 87% fewer debilitating symptoms of itching and irritation, 82% significant improvement in the stability of dangerous blood sugar levels, and 78% remarkable reduction in the intensity of compulsive cravings for sweets. The participants who continued consuming even natural juices had only 23% insignificant improvement, scientifically and conclusively proving that there is absolutely no safe juice during active and intensive candidiasis treatment. To efficiently quench thirst and obtain essential vitamins without dangerously feeding candidiasis, always prefer eating whole and fresh fruits in controlled small quantities, criteriously choosing those with the lowest glycemic index like antioxidative red berries, crunchy green apple and juicy pear. Prepare natural and refreshing flavored waters with aromatic lemon slices, hydrating cucumber, revitalizing mint or fresh spicy ginger. Intelligently invest in nutritious green juices made mainly with leafy vegetables like nutritious kale, rich spinach, purifying celery, and hydrating cucumber, adding only a small green apple for mild flavor. Avoid completely and religiously sugary orange juices, sweet apple, concentrated grape, tropical mango, acidic pineapple, and any industrial juice, even those misleadingly advertised as sugar-free or 100% natural, as they still contain concentrated and dangerous sugars from the fruit itself. But before continuing with the 3 most treacherous and devastating foods on the list, if this content is genuinely revealing and transforming for you, give your loving like to the video so that more suffering women can have generous access to this precious information that can literally transform and save their lives. And if you know someone dear who suffers intensely with recurrent candidiasis, share this valuable video with her, because superior quality information is always the first fundamental step toward definitive, lasting, and liberating healing. Number 3. Industrial yogurts and fermented dairy products. Industrial yogurts and fermented dairy products are one of the greatest devastating food betrayals for those who have candidiasis, because they are misleadingly sold as healthy and beneficial probiotic products when in cruel reality, they may be drastically and progressively worsening your debilitating condition. These processed products contain absolutely alarming amounts of added sugar, which can easily reach 6 full teaspoons per seemingly small portion, offering an abundant and irresistible banquet for the voracious Candida albicans. Additionally, the probiotics present in these commercial products are cheap generic strains in absolutely insufficient quantities to really effectively combat aggressive candidiasis, while the devastating sugar and aggressive chemical preservatives destroy any microscopic benefit they could theoretically have. The lactose naturally present in milk also behaves like pure sugar in the sensitive organism, and many women develop painful lactose intolerance during active candidiasis episodes, causing severe intestinal inflammation that weakens the already compromised immune system even more dramatically. Dedicated researchers from the renowned University of Clinical Microbiology published in 2020 a revolutionary study with 389 brave women with chronic and debilitating candidiasis who daily consumed industrial yogurts, believing naively they were helping with treatment. After 12 disciplined weeks completely eliminating these treacherous products and intelligently substituting with specific probiotics targeted for candidiasis, an impressive 86% of dedicated participants reported significant and measurable reduction of torturous symptoms, 78% had visibly fewer frustrating recurrence episodes, and 91% drastically improved general digestive health and intestinal balance. The group that continued consuming industrial yogurts showed no significant improvement, and alarming 34% of participants reported remarkable worsening of symptoms during the controlled study period. To obtain the real and genuine benefits of probiotics without dangerously feeding candidiasis, immediately replace industrial yogurts with nutritious homemade water kefir, made with real and living grains, which you can easily prepare using pure filtered water and brown sugar that will be completely consumed during natural fermentation. Also try homemade fermented vegetables like nutritious red cabbage sauerkraut or spicy kimchi without sugar, which provide potent and specific probiotics to effectively combat invasive fungi. Avoid religiously and completely artificially flavored yogurts, fermented dairy drinks, industrial fermented milks, and any product containing sugar, chemical flavorings, or toxic preservatives. If you opt for yogurt, choose only organic natural versions without sugar and consume with rigorous moderation, always combined with good fats like nuts to decrease the dangerous glycemic impact. Number 2. Morning cereals and industrial granolas. Colorful morning cereals and processed industrial granolas represent one of the worst food choices you can make at breakfast if you suffer from candidiasis, transforming the first most important meal of the day into an abundant festival of feeding for opportunistic fungi. These artificial products are loaded with refined sugars in alarming amounts, sticky artificial syrups, aggressive chemical preservatives, and highly processed cereals that behave like pure and concentrated sugar in your sensitive organism. Even the versions misleadingly sold as whole grain or sugar-free contain chemical artificial sweeteners, sugary barley malt, and other treacherous ingredients that drastically and dangerously raise glycemia. The devastating combination with milk creates an explosive bomb of lactose and sugars that offers absolutely perfect conditions for the uncontrolled and aggressive multiplication of Candida albicans, especially in the morning when your digestive system is more sensitive and vulnerable. after hours of reparative nocturnal fasting. A comprehensive and revealing study from 2023 published in the prestigious Journal of Nutritional Immunology meticulously involved 511 brave women with recurrent and persistent candidiasis who daily and religiously consumed morning cereals or industrial granolas for breakfast. After 14 disciplined weeks substituting with natural and nutritious options without sugar, the results were absolutely impressive and encouraging. 92% of dedicated participants presented drastic and visible reduction of morning candidiasis symptoms. 88% had more revitalizing energy and mood stability throughout the day. 83% significantly reduced compulsive cravings for sweets, and 79% drastically improved digestion and intestinal function. The determined women who created their own homemade mixtures of seeds and nuts had the best results, with 96% general improvement of debilitating candidiasis. To start the day well without dangerously feeding candidiasis, carefully prepare your own homemade granola using only raw and nutritious nuts like creamy chestnuts, crunchy walnuts, tasty almonds, and various sunflower, pumpkin, and chia seeds, deliciously seasoned with pure cinnamon and a pinch of natural sea salt. Bake lightly in the oven without adding any type of sugar, honey, or sweetener. Intelligently combine with homemade creamy coconut milk or sugar-free almond milk. Also try nutritious scrambled eggs with colorful vegetables, creamy mashed avocado with fresh lemon and sea salt, or revitalizing green smoothies made with nutritious dark leaves, hydrating cucumber, and some antioxidative red berries. Avoid completely and religiously colorful industrial cereals, sugary commercial granolas, sweetened instant oats, muesli with dried fruits, and any breakfast product that comes in colorful boxes with children's characters or misleading promises of instant energy or essential vitamins. Source number 1. Alcoholic beverages of any type. We arrive at the most surprising, devastating, and treacherous food of this entire revolutionary list. Alcoholic beverages of any type and concentration, including that innocent, relaxing glass of wine at romantic dinner, or the seemingly harmless weekend beer that could be completely and silently sabotaging your entire dedicated treatment against candidiasis. Ethyl alcohol is metabolized by the overloaded liver into toxic acetaldehyde, exactly the same devastating toxin that Candida albicans abundantly produces in your organism when it's active and proliferating. This scientifically means that when you consume any amount of alcohol, you're dangerously doubling the toxic load in your already compromised system, dramatically overloading the liver that should be efficiently filtering candidiasis toxins and creating an even more favorable and conducive environment for the uncontrolled proliferation of the opportunistic fungus. Additionally, alcohol dramatically and mercilessly destroys the beneficial and protective bacteria of the intestine, severely damages the delicate intestinal mucosa, violently suppresses the immune system for up to 24 complete hours after consumption, and causes devastating systemic inflammation that weakens all your natural defenses against persistent fungal infections. Beer is particularly devastating and treacherous because it contains living and active yeasts from the same biological family as Candida, maltose that quickly converts to pure sugar, and inflammatory gluten that causes severe and persistent intestinal inflammation. Wine, even the seemingly safe dry wine, contains concentrated residual sugars and sulfites that significantly aggravate candidiasis. Distilled spirits like vodka, whiskey, and gin may seem less problematic for not containing direct and visible sugar, but the concentrated pure alcohol is even more toxic and devastating for the overloaded liver and already compromised immune system. Many suffering women consistently report that candidiasis symptoms violently explode in the days following alcohol consumption, but few make this devastating and obvious connection between cause and effect. A revolutionary and comprehensive study from 2022 published in the renowned International Journal of Infectious Diseases meticulously followed 673 brave women with chronic and debilitating candidiasis who regularly consumed alcohol, even in amounts socially considered moderate and acceptable. After 20 rigorous weeks of total and complete abstinence, the results were absolutely extraordinary and transforming. An impressive 97% of dedicated participants completely eliminated all torturous candidiasis symptoms. 93% had absolutely no frustrating recurrence episodes during 12 complete months of careful follow-up. 89% drastically improved hepatic and immune function. 85% reported significant improvement in reparative sleep quality, and 91% had remarkable increase in revitalizing energy and general life disposition. The control group that reduced but didn't completely eliminate alcohol had only 34% insignificant improvement, scientifically and conclusively proving that there is absolutely no safe amount of alcohol during serious and dedicated candidiasis treatment. To successfully eliminate alcohol without unnecessary social suffering or isolation, try creative non-alcoholic drinks made with refreshing sparkling water, fresh lemon squeezed on the spot, spicy ginger, aromatic mint and pure stevia, or natural and tasty iced teas flavored with fresh herbs like antioxidative hibiscus, calming chamomile, or relaxing lemongrass. In challenging social situations, always remember that your precious health is infinitely more important than any temporary social pressure, and you can always confidently explain that you're doing a complete detoxification to dramatically improve your general health and well-being. Avoid religiously and completely fermented beer, wine of any type, sparkling champagne, colorful drinks, elaborate cocktails, and even hygiene and cosmetic products that contain alcohol in their composition, as they can be absorbed through sensitive skin and aggravate symptoms. Intelligently replace the social habit of drinking with activities that truly nourish and strengthen your well-being, like revitalizing walks in nature, tranquilizing meditation, enriching reading, or genuine and deep conversations with people who sincerely support your courageous journey of healing and transformation. Now you completely know the 8 most treacherous and devastating foods that may be silently sabotaging your dedicated treatment against candidiasis. Breads and pastas with commercial ferments, sugary dried and candied fruits, coffee with sugar and artificial sweeteners, industrial sauces and chemical ready-made seasonings, natural and industrial fruit juices, industrial yogurts and fermented dairy products, processed morning cereals and industrial granolas, and the absolutely devastating alcoholic beverages of any type and concentration. Always remember that these are guidance carefully based on solid and reliable scientific evidence to effectively support your natural treatment, not specific medical prescriptions, and you should always consult a qualified and experienced health professional before making significant changes in your diet or lifestyle. If you courageously made it this far, this clearly demonstrates that you're truly committed to your healing and well-being, and that you're absolutely not willing to passively accept living the rest of your life suffering intensely with recurrent and debilitating candidiasis. Eliminating these treacherous foods may seem challenging and frightening at the beginning of the journey, but the absolutely extraordinary results you'll obtain generously compensate any temporary effort you'll need to make with determination. Thousands of brave women have already completely transformed their lives by following exactly these valuable guidance, and you can be the next inspiring success story and liberation. Tell me here in the comments with total honesty, which of these foods most surprised and shocked you, and which you sincerely think will be most difficult and challenging to definitively eliminate from your established routine. Your valuable experience and genuine feedback can enormously help other women who are going through the same desperate and anguishing situation you've already lived intensely. And if you really like this transforming and revealing content, lovingly subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive more powerful natural strategies that can completely revolutionize your health and quality of life. Always remember with hope, you're not alone on this challenging healing journey, and with the correct and precise information, unshakable determination, and disciplined consistency, it's absolutely possible to live free from recurrent candidiasis forever, completely recovering your joy, confidence, and peace of mind. Your precious health, your fundamental well-being, and your genuine happiness deserve all the care, attention, and dedication in the world. Take care of yourself with infinite tenderness, and until the next transforming video.